Praise the Lord, about to get out and get myself together. It's colder than the heart of man outside right now, or mankind, or human. And I was just on the phone with a childhood friend of mine, me, Jeff, and Patrick. Jeff Harris and Patrick Gordon in my hometown of Huntsville, Alabama. We've been friends since we were knee high. My mom and Jeff's mom went to nursing school together and also worked at one of the local nursing homes together. And Patrick's mom and my mom would meet out at the fence line and talk or gossip or go sipping. Nah, both of them were wonderful moms, and they would meet at the fence line and would hang out clothes with the wooden clothespins and would talk. And myself, Jeff, and Patrick, we've been friends, I think, since we were around 4 years old. I'm 52, so Jeff is about 49, and I think Patrick is 47. No, Patrick is 50, Jeff is 49, and I'm 52. So we've been friends for a long time, and so we were on a three-way call, laughing and giggling and making fun of one another, something we've been doing since Edward White Middle School, since Calvary Hill, since University Place Elementary, since Butler High School and Lee High School. So I was on the phone and we were talking about to tell or not to tell concerning your parents and concerning loved ones, concerning your parents as far as in marriage. And we were talking about how if you tell everything, now don't get me wrong, some things you should tell. If you're being abused mentally, verbally, unfortunately, some spouses try to assassinate their spouses to their own parents and to the spouse's parents. Some spouses badmouth the husband or wife so bad to the parents. And then when you make up, think about all that you done told your parents about your wife or your husband. Now, some things you need to reveal. Maybe to cause an embarrassment, or maybe to push or compel the person to, the husband or the wife, to do better, to talk to you better, to speak to you better, to treat you better as I leave this alone. So I was like, if you tell everything, you're going to tell some things. I mean, some things you just can't hold in, but to tell everything. I'm not saying you're a snitch. I'm not saying you shouldn't tell, but you should use discretion, marital discretion. If you tell everything about your wife that's bad and horrible, if you tell everything about your husband that's bad and horrible, and some things you need to reveal as I leave this alone. But then what happens when you make up? You do all this telling, all this telling, all this revealing. And some parents already know how their children are, just like some parents already know how their son-in-law or daughter-in-law is way before you married them, because they told you not to marry them as I land God's spacecraft. But to go and to tell every iota, every single thing that happens and transpires, and then you make up. Now, if you telling everything, you headed for divorce court, okay, the truth don't need no crutches. It stands on its own. Just like God don't need no matches. He's fire all by himself. But when you tell everything, make up. Tell everything, break up. Tell everything, make up. Tell everything, move out. Tell everything, move back in. Tell everything, file divorce and don't divorce. Tell everything, and you're still together. Christmas, holidays, Thanksgiving, Resurrections Day, birthdays, family reunions come around, and all that you done told, all that you done stated and said, all that horrible, that diatribe. Just think about the husband that's trying to assassinate the wife to her parents, and she's not there. He goes over to the in-laws' house just to try to outlaw his wife, or she goes over to the in-laws' house trying to outlaw her husband. And then you make up. Make up to break up. That's all we do. That song popped in my head. First you love him, then you hate him. First you try to protect him, then you tell everything. First you build him up, then you tear him down. Which one is going to be? To be or not to be is not the question. To tell or not to tell. To scandalize or not to scandalize, to destroy their reputation or not to destroy their reputation, to lie on them or to tell the truth as I leave this alone. I'm not saying don't reveal, don't tell, but all that you say, all that horrible revelation, all that revealing, and a lot of things you have to tell: verbal abuse, physical abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, staying out all night, staying gone all weekend, using your job as an excuse to tear down your marriage, using your job as an excuse to stay away from home, using your job as an excuse to be wayward, to be haphazard, to be neglectful as I land God's spacecraft. But I say this to Jeff and Pat: if you tell everything, some things you ought to leave in the house, some things are out of the house. But if you tell everything, your house or your apartment or your home becomes a outhouse as I leave this peak. Be wise, be discreet, use discretion. This is deep. Try not to tell everything, but some things you can't help but tell. If that man talking to you all kinds of ways, if that woman calling you everything. See, a woman would call you everything because she can't whoop you, because if she could whoop you, she would throw you over the moon. My mom told me that. Well, if she calling your names because she want to whoop you, and if she could whoop you, you'd be in the emergency room or urgent care right now. That's how I leave this alone. So be wise, be aware. Try not to verbally abuse. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but the words will injure you forever. I would rather be hit with a baseball bat. I'd rather be hit with a stone. I'd rather you throw a car battery at me. I'd rather you hit me with a stick than to verbally assault, to verbally insult, to verbally assume, to verbally insinuate. And I got all these holes in me, and you don't know I'm leaking until I drink some water. You don't know I'm leaking until I start thinking. You don't know I'm leaking until I start praying. You don't know I'm leaking until I start reminiscing all this stuff you done called and said about me, and say it to my parents or say it to your parents. And then you kiss and make up. Make up to break up. That's all we do. Google a song. First you love me, then you hate me. I don't know what to do. We should respect one another and try not to verbally abuse one another. If you can't get along, get along. Be careful what you reveal to your parents and friends, because when you make up, all that you done said is still out there. Peace. Use discretion. Some things you have to tell.